For any European company with big dreams, the US market is, well, it's the ultimate prize. But here's the thing, it's also a graveyard of failed ambitions. Today, we're going to crack open an analysis that explains why a mind-boggling 2/3 of these attempts just fall flat. And more importantly, we'll see what separates the winners from the rest. Let's dive in.
So first, let's talk about the why. The pull is just undeniable, right? You've got a single market, 330 million consumers, and a jaw-dropping $27 trillion economy. For any company that wants to scale, this is the land of opportunity. The potential is absolutely massive. It's irresistible. But here is the brutal, cold, hard reality. 67%. That means 2 out of every 3 European companies that try to grab a piece of this prize fail to hit their goals. I mean, that is a staggering number, and it just begs the question, what on earth are they all getting wrong?
Well, as it turns out, the answer probably isn't what you think it is. The analysis we're digging into makes a really bold claim, the root cause of all this failure. It isn't the product, it's not the market, it's not even the funding. It's a people problem.
And this is the central mystery, isn't it? You have these brilliant founders, you have fantastic technology, you have plenty of cash in the bank. On paper, they have everything they need to succeed, and yet they don't. So why does this keep happening over and over again?
And this quote right here gets to the absolute core of the entire analysis. It's saying that success isn't really about what you sell, it's about who you hire. The whole game is won or lost based on your ability to build the right team on the ground in the US, period.
And we're not just talking about, throwing a job post up online. This means you have to master what's called strategic talent acquisition. And believe me, it is a completely different discipline in the US. It's a landscape with its own unique and often unwritten rules.
And the stakes for getting this wrong, they are incredibly high. According to the US Department of Labor, just one single bad hire can cost your company up to 30% of that employee's first-year salary. Now, for a senior role, that's not just a mistake. That's a mistake that can be fatal for your entire expansion plan.
Okay, so this isn't just one problem. It's actually a series of interconnected challenges. So let's break down the 3 critical hurdles that seem to trip up most European companies.
So the first hurdle is this double-edged sword. You're a new, totally unknown brand trying to attract top-tier talent, and you're doing it in a market that moves at a dizzying, almost unbelievable pace. That great reputation you built in Europe, it means very little here.
This culture clash is just perfectly illustrated by hiring timelines. A typical European process, it can take 3, maybe even 6 months. In the US, the best talent is off the market in 10 days, gone. So if your whole process takes 4 to 6 weeks, you are already way behind. By the time your European HQ finally approves an offer, the best candidates have already started their new jobs somewhere else.
And this creates what the guide calls the speed penalty. It's not just about losing your first-choice candidate. Your slowness, your process, it sends a giant signal to the entire market that you just don't get how things work here, which makes it even harder to attract the next great candidate.
Okay, on to the second hurdle. And this one is one of the most common and costly mistakes, a fundamental misunderstanding of American compensation and workplace culture. I'm telling you, what works in Berlin or Paris will absolutely not work in Boston or Austin.
You think your salary offer is competitive? There's a good chance it's 40, maybe even 60% below the market rate in a major US city. And this isn't a small adjustment, it's a completely different scale. Offering European-level pay isn't just seen as a lowball, it's often seen as an insult that immediately turns away the exact people you need to hire.
And it goes so much deeper than just the base salary. US execs, they expect significant equity, a real piece of the action. They're used to direct, fast-paced communication and being empowered to make decisions. Having to wait weeks for a committee back in Europe to approve something? Well, that's just a recipe for frustration and pretty quickly high turnover.
And finally, there's the third hurdle, the sheer complexity and legal risk of the US employment landscape. A lot of European leaders assume it's one system. In reality, it's a complete patchwork of regulations that can be an absolute minefield if you're not prepared.
Look at this. You're not dealing with one set of labor laws, you're dealing with 50. Then you add in federal laws, complex visa requirements, the constant risk of misclassifying employees. You can see why founders end up spending over 20 hours a week just on hiring. That's time they're not spending on actually building the business.
So all of this complexity, all these hurdles, they lead to a single pivotal decision that every single company has to face right at the start of their US journey.
And here it is.
Do you try to build your entire US talent function from scratch?
the do-it-yourself approach? Or do you partner with a specialist who already knows this market inside and out?
And when you look at the data laid out in the analysis, well, the contrast is pretty stark. Partnering with a specialist is shown to cut your time to hire by more than half, slash the all-in cost by a factor of 4, and nearly double your chances of success. I mean, the numbers really do speak for themselves.
And this isn't just theory. The analysis points to this one fintech company that, after making the right first hire, landed $2 million in annual recurring revenue within the first 90 days. Think about that. That one hire generated a massive return on investment, almost instantly.
Okay, so let's wrap this up by making it really actionable. The guide gives us this powerful readiness checklist to help you see where you stand before you make a huge multi-million-dollar commitment.
You gotta ask yourself these questions, and you gotta be honest. Is your budget truly ready for US salaries? Is your interview process built for speed? Do you know exactly who has the final say on hiring? And can they make that call in 24 hours? Answering these questions will tell you if you're actually ready to compete.
And that leaves us with this final, crucial question. Because according to this analysis, the European companies that win in America aren't the ones with the best products. They're the ones with the best people strategies. And the answer to this question will determine which side of that 67% statistic you're going to land on.